And things are kicking off here. GoHard defending on the red side with eSuba on the blue side attacking. And eSuba look to be going mainly here for the 1-2 line, Decky.
Yeah, let's say they can go 1-2 line with that lineup. They'll be sending combat towards the middle and GoHard here. It's not a real surprise that they are going towards that eastern side. They're leaving just Coca-Collapse in his I-7 behind the bushes. Obviously, behind the bushes, he won't be able to get spotted, heavy tank or not. With the rest of the tank going towards the eastern side. Jukets needs to be careful not to get caught out, but he will be pretty safe. And as predicted, GoHard going aggressive towards the zero line to clear it out quickly, and they have RT that will be able to reset the base.
Just realised again, Decky, that actually Scarium's in the lineup once again. I actually
Yeah,
thought
Barry's not
Caribari
back. He's
still
not back
not
yet.
back.
No, no.
It's an impressive holiday the lad's taken.
Yeah, it seems like the most extended holiday of his life, but be the last one as well if he doesn't perform after that. But Failware, Niall, Maga taking the hill quickly. As predicted, they're going to clear out the zero line because the attacker sometimes likes to leave a batch in an H0 or K7, K8 towards the rails. Collapse now getting spotted out. It's not an issue. I mean, with the RT, they'll be able to get the reset shots without Collapse having to commit, and we've seen what happens when the I7 does have to commit. He gets pretty wrecked by RT, Grillis with HG, even Grillis spanning them. All that matters for him is that he can stay safe as long as possible. He needs to take as little damage as he can before eSuba makes their move onto the cap, because eSuba has their RT of their own. If EDT can get better connections than Zafar can, then they lose that I7, and they need to send in their E5, and you don't want to lose that I7 because then you can get shot from two sides.
And this is what I mean by this map ending up going from north-south to east-west. Now the teams have completely given up the north-south approach, and they're going to be going at each other across the map rather than up and down the map. It's very strange, this the way it always happens here on Prokrovka. No other map really has a dynamic like that.
Not really. EDT makes off a shot, connects actually, and that's going to hurt for Collapse already.
Dead driver already. Normally that only happens when the IS gets shot and the I7 gets shot in the face, because it's one of the weak spots everyone aims for. He has healed his driver straight away, so he's down the medipack. In return though, eSuba has damage onto Overus and Frawley. Overus actually got ammo rack there and repaired it immediately.
Yeah, Frawley took a lot of damage crossing Failware, overextending just a little bit, takes the connection from combat from the back. Now there will be a double I7 on the cap, and this starts becoming an issue if Zafar misses one shot. Right now, with two guys in the cap, 44 seconds left. If he can get the first reset kind of early, he will be able to reload for the second reset. There we go, that's the first reset. It goes back up to 50 seconds. If he now can reset Frawley with just two guys on the cap, he'll be able to reset. Now the question is if EDT can connect with Collapse again, make him low HP, so the I7s can do something against him. But for now, they're just sitting on this cap, and I don't know if it's going to be the best play for eSuba, because this RT piece from Zafar, it's reloaded, it's only 26 seconds, and he needs to spot now onto Frawley.
This is Zafar's point of view we're seeing at the moment. He's going to get the shot onto Overus, knows exactly what it is, comes in, 460 damage into the rear, tracks him as well so he can't move, so...
He needs to reset Frawley now, because next time he resets Overus, the time will be too low for him to reload, but Scarium!
Scarium pushing over here to try and get vision for his team, takes a lot of damage in the crossing. Combat now gets a damaged gun. In the meantime, Scarium needs to do a spot for his team to be able to show where the other tank is. Frawley is spotted now with the combined effort of Scarium and Coca-Cola. But Combat gets the kill on Scarium there, shooting out from the I7. But look at the damage on Frawley. Dead driver, dead gunner, and tracked as well. That was a great shot.
Yeah, that was RT coming in. Scarium there. You could see him swing the turret to the side to look towards Frawley, and at that exact moment the E5 turret on the side becomes pinnable because it's too pointed towards the wrong side. It got penned by the grill, it got penned by the I7. That's him dead, and with 22 seconds left, Zafar, it's back on him.
Coca-Cola might take a big shell here from EDT. Shots fired. Nope. That's a miss as the cameraman shakes his head there, not being able to see a nice hit coming. Overus taking more damage now, down to 391 health. Frawley is not looking good at all there with the dead driver and dead gunner.
I think that was EDT shaking his gun. That's what I would do when I would miss like that.
How can eSuba come back from this one, Decky?
I don't think this is a good situation for them whatsoever. You can see Niall and Failware here just covering if anybody tries to push over into Coca-Collapse. And now Collapse just needs to spot Frawley, and then Zafar misses. Now there needs to be a reset.
Okay, that's bad because we're down now to 10 seconds. I wonder if anyone can rush in. No, it's not possible for the Caps. We see Lucan's perhaps thinking about it. Down to 6 seconds as well. Now Maga and Failware and Annihilator are coming rushing in here in the middle. There's the reset coming in. The Bad Chats are just going to throw themselves at the tanks of eSuba as Maga gets the kill on Frawley. Overus can go down now as Annihilator and Maga are trying to vie for shots to get him. And Maga with the 2 kills here now. Annihilator's going to push forward and see who he can find from eSuba. And this looks like it might be the beginning of the end now for eSuba.
Just about, perhaps if RT can get a big connection in here, but Zafar picks up combat and that will be closing and it's short. Nile goes down, but they have no heavy tanks left that can take the front. UCats needs to reload, but it's still the fact that Failware and Collapse are kind of stuck in that area and they still have 4 minutes to work with EDT. They pretty much know where everybody except for Kaizu is, and EDT just fired. Only 174 onto Coco Collapse and they need that RT piece to kill something. He's even spotted.
EDT might go down in just a second here. Zafar could even potentially get a shot over to him, but it looks like Maga is going to come off reload and go hunting for him. Lucan is nearby, but I mean, this is goodbye Arte right now as Maga picks up his 3rd kill of the round. Takes some damage back in return for Lucan, but now he can actually trade with Lucan if he wanted to at the moment, and that's exactly what's going to happen here between these Bat Chats.
And Maga winning this trade so far. I mean, Lucan had the surprise, but Maga with the nice connections. And actually, it's the first time Lucan connected him since he was in that hold down. He got one shot coming over, and Maga, nice trade there, wins it. Now Kaizu, Andrew, trading with Andrew, and UCat's the last man standing.
Maga now on 4 kills as we're rounding this one out. UCats is the last one standing for his team. GoHard are just on cleanup duty here, and this is going to be round 1 to GoHard. eSuba had a plan, but it just sadly just couldn't come together for them.
eSuba, weird approach to that round there, just sitting against RT. It wasn't really ever going to work out for them. It's like there was one opportunity there, and I think it was after they killed Skyrim. I think after they killed Skyrim, Skyrim made a misplay there. He should never turn his turret like that.
Yeah.
I think they had one opportunity after they killed Skyrim. They think they should have pushed over almost with 1 or 2 bad shots on towards Coca Collapse and kill him. Because now they were just sitting with 2 IS-7s against an RT piece that kept resetting them. And you could see, even when the reset didn't come in, the bad shots got in just in time to clean up the IS-7s. And there was nobody really there in the support. I think if they took the opportunity after Skyrim, killed Coca Collapse, and then sit on the cap, then GoHard would have to push in with their bad shots and commit to reset, and it might have gone completely different. But just sitting on the cap with 2 IS-7s, not really going to work out.
Yeah, the artillery pieces for each team certainly had very different impacts in the battle.
EDT had almost no impact. I think he did 1 shot of damage during that entire round.
And the counter,
Zafar did
in control,
2.4, I think.
Complete control.
Somewhere like that.
It was easy in a way for Zafar as well, because IS-7s were barely moving from where they were.
But Zafar has an elevated position as well from where he was shooting, so the ridge line becomes less of an issue because he's already higher up, so he gets a better arc onto the IS-7s from eSuba than EDT has, because EDT is on a lower elevation than Zafar.
And Maga as well had a hell of a game to start off with, 4 kills and a truck ton of damage.
Well, all I care about is Annihilator performing.
Failware for me personally, but let's have a look at stats and see where they were on the list, Dake. Maga coming out in top there. None of our boys getting on the front page. Yep, Zafar, 3rd place there in the Lorraine. He was having a field day there. And Maga with the carry effectively for his team, 3k damage.
Do I have anybody else from GoHard on my team? I'm thinking.
I'll have a check for you.
I think I actually might have. I'm not sure.
You have no Annihilator in this round, and then the next one you'll have Mayland. And
Nile did 1.2, Failware did 1.5. I think I have Failware actually on the other team. I do.
Copying my tactics, eh? It's just Failware above Annihilator.
Yeah, I have him on the other team with Nile.
Okay. Well, that's him above Nile, so. Nile not getting into the damage again. Perhaps he can do it in the next round.
These IS-7s from eSuba didn't get the damage shot either. Needed the RT 927.
Yeah.
I think that was the one connection onto Coca Collapse, a full one for 700 something.
I think
and then 1 splash onto Coca Collapse.
I think that actually was EDT doing the no.
Yeah, because he didn't hit anything. He must have gone at least 2-3 shots. So.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the lineups for round 2 and see if there's any surprises here that we can see in the teams. Looks pretty standard to me. S-Tank on defense for eSuba. Yeah. Anything surprising for you, Dake?
Not necessarily. I mean, they have RT on defense, but the S-Tanks, they kind of begs the question, are they going to go...
It's going to be A1.
Is it going... No, actually, with RT not having the T-Rate Scout, they could still go towards the eastern side, but then it depends where they're going to use the S-Tank, and that's going to be the curious factor for me here, because with you have to commit a batch shot into the bushes, which you don't always want to.
Okay, so let's jump into round 2 here. Prokhorovka, GoHard leading eSuba 1-0. Are GoHard going to make it 2-0, or will eSuba bring it back to 1-1? We'll find out in just a second, but we do have a little bit of a whoopsie with the camo. So as you can see here, this is not eSuba, this is actually GoHard. Now we go back to GoHard camo. Do apologise for that.
And double I7 from GoHard driving towards the middle, no surprise. And they're actually going to defend 1-2 line with that RT as well. Okay, let's see if EDT can actually do something. So they committed overroofs to the bushes, but the rest of GoHard already going very, very aggressive on towards that eastern side. And let's see, did they get spotted? No, they didn't. So they might be able to get a quick cap here. Quick cap even here.
They're going in for a cap rush on base 2. That could be quite interesting. Combat and UK's there, advanced up as Coca-Cola comes over the hill here. Looking at the viewpoint from Zafarchek, sitting behind a little hut where Positive got so annihilated before in the previous match. Now, UKS actually took a bit of damage to come over the hill there. It looks like it was actually a shot from Coca-Cola.
Well, eSuba has to commit now onto the 1-2 line because Combat here is not in the greatest positions. He will almost certainly get pushed by 3 bad shots from the GoHard side, and they need to kill this middle. They need to Cascarium, they need to get Coca-Cola because Combat, he is 100% dead.
He's dead, he just doesn't know it yet. Now, how much damage can eSuba do in counter once the push comes from GoHard over this train track? It's going to be Failware Maga leading the push. Now, what covering fire do they have as Ukets pulls himself back in cover, and eSuba are way down the other side. So, Combat, this is the beginning of the end for you, mate, as you go down in a blink of an eye. One more shot goes. Maga picking up the kill, and he's doing great for himself. But in return, Coca-Cola gets dropped for GoHard, so it's IS7 for IS7 at the moment.
Yeah, but still, eSuba was kind of a little bit slow with that because now the bad shots will go back over the rails for limited damage, almost none actually. Cap has started and Scarium survived, which is a big factor because he will control the middle and force them to come back and commit. He'll do damage on the way, like you just saw onto Lukin, and there's going to be triple cap pressure any second now. And most of GoHard tanks know the north is not an issue, so they will just defend the middle, and eSuba's in a terrible position.
Yep, and this is the danger of the map going from north-south to east-west. It means that you effectively give up base 2, and GoHard have done this before. They've completely controlled the action, and that's what's happening at the moment. We're down to 10 seconds now. 3-tank cap. Ukets tries to go over and get a reset. He does get a reset, but the tanks from GoHard push out now because they know that they can take the overmatch into eSuba, and they're looking for a fight, and you can see them all charging down here one after the other.
They're going to catch out Overus now in that batch shot. He is 100% dead. He's a dad. Andrew is dead now as well because he's on reload in his batch shot. And then Lukin is not going to fare much better. And Froley in the S-Tank, it's great DPM, but he has so much HP and he's not sharing any of it.
Well, this is it, eSuba. You've been kind of outplayed by GoHard. GoHard are becoming a bit of a masters as this. Annihilator gets dropped by Froley. There is 4 tanks left of GoHard to 3 tanks left of eSuba, but look in, man, you've only got 1 shot left and then you're dead. Failware's on the reload, Safar could get him in the back of the RU. You can see another tank hovering over the rails. It looks like Maga wants to get that killing shot as well. A miss from the S-Tank on Zafar, so he's now able to pick up Lukin. Kaizu ramming Froley there, keeps him tracked, but Froley repairs immediately. Froley trying to get a snapshot off and misses. So now it's down to Kaizu. I mean, the front armor of the S-Tank is a swine to get through, but Froley will swing for a little bit longer, but not much longer. EDT in the artillery is now the only person left, and he misses that last shot there.
Yeah, rip him. He actually, he did fire. So, yeah, nice stuff there from GoHard. It was obvious to see what they were going to do once they went for it. Scarium survived even. They went for the cap. They made eSuba commit. eSuba committed like they're supposed to do. And then they got wrecked, and I hope Failware misses the shot.
He got the kill. And he lasted longer than Niall as well, Dake. So we'll have to see damage, though. It doesn't mean he connected all his shots.
I don't really care because he's in my team as well, but in a different one.
The one that's more important for you as well.
So there's that, but yeah, you could
Daki with the double dip.
Yeah, with the double dip, boys. You could see obviously what happened there. I mean, you could see it as soon as they spotted out where Ukets, it was Ukets. and they saw combat. They realized the defense from eSuba was postured around 1-2. Could see the Batchas pushing up. They had no idea eSuba how close they were, how far they were. They came over. They killed the IS-7 quickly, and because of all of eSuba's tanks pushing 1-2 and just getting Coca collapse in return, it's not, even though it's a 1-for-1, it's not a favorable trade because you could see GoHard's Batchats all cross back over the top. In return, eSuba's taking damage when they come back towards Skyrim. Sure, he died at one point, but he did more damage when they were coming towards the middle. The Batchas drove back onto the cap. Somebody had to commit to reset. I think that was Yukets even committed to reset, died. Then GoHard's like, well, we don't need to cap anymore. Pushes off and kills the remaining tanks. It was solid.
Yeah, I mean, the IS-7 trades for each team was actually in GoHard's favor.
Yeah, because they have cap control. They had already 2 guys on the cap.
They had the cap control. Also gave them information that
nobody was
nowhere
on
near.
Everybody was on 1-2 on the middle side, so they just drove back towards the middle. They knew they needed nobody in the north.
Kaizu coming out top damage here in his Batchat. 3k damage, 10 kills. Then Maga 2.7.
3k damage, 10 kills. Hello.
Great start. 3k damage, 10 shots. Yes. Hello, Daki. Man, it's not even a start of a long day yet. I just go back to my bed.
Kaizu, how many team kills? That would imply he made 3 team kills.
That's completely possible.
It is completely
Kaizu can sometimes play.
I mean, yes, that's true actually.
Oh, actually, no, he's not the Dead Zone. Dead Zone's the one that does most team damage, I think, right now in the league.
That's BM.
That's true, though. Failware, 4th there. Annihilator, 7th, Daki.
Yeah, Annihilator having a decent performance. Skyrim only 800 damage, but it is something. It is still more than Combat did, than Collapse did, than Yukets did.
Probably did.
Probably, but I mean, GoHard's counter push, it was solid, it was quick, it was good. They made the right moves, and it seemed like a very easy break for them this round. I mean, it was just picking off tank after tank after tank. They had the autoloader advantage. The S-tank was sniping the entire game, and you want, at that point in the game, you need to kind of share HP because you could see they just lost tank after tank.
I mean, the S-tank can have a field day if it's in that A line on the 1-2 line, and somebody pushes into it.
It can have a field day on multiple positions, but it just implies that your teammates need to stay alive for long enough for you to be able to do the damage. If your teammates don't survive, you can't do the damage. The longer they stay alive, the more damage you do. Logic. Logic doesn't really apply to this league, however. You never know how it's going to go, Daki. Yeah, now that eSuba's going to come back for rounds.
eSuba's going to bring it back 2-2, and then we're going to go 3-3, then we're going to go 4-4, then we're going to go tiebreaker.
I'm sure people love you right now.
If there's one thing that everyone should know watching right now is that my predictions count for nothing. Other than if we're making a bet and that ends up with you wearing a bow tie. Now let's have a look at the lineups for the next round, Daki, where we're going to be going to Himmelsdorf, a favourite map for many people here. Now, eSuba taking quite an all-star lineup, tanks here.
Well, this eSuba lineup kind of is old meta even at this point. Very reminiscent of round grand finals. We'll get to that in a second, Ryan. Relax.
I'm pointing at something on the screen.
We're talking about eSuba first. This lineup tells you that you're going to go towards the 0 line, going to come off it, try to cap on the A line. eSuba's brought a lineup like this multiple times. Double FETD, yes. It is to destroy anybody peeking on the A line corner. E3 for B0, it's standard. And then GoHard with the mouse. They're going to put that one on A6 like they've done before. Or a little bit back on the corner. But GoHard needs to counter eSuba coming off the 0 line, because even if they go 1-2 line, it's going to be slow.
Well, let's find out how that goes. It's currently GoHard 2, eSuba 0. Let's go to Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf, a small city map. The teams start the battle in opposite corners. Both bases are located close to each other, but in a way that you can't stay on the defensive all the time. The main attack routes pass through the hill, the alley and the railroad, but in general, the attack can be successfully executed through any part of the map. Heavy tanks and tank destroyers with powerful guns run the show here. However, a lot depends on the mobile light tanks.
Okay, and we're off GoHard on the red side against eSuba on the blue side. Now, I was just saying to Daki there as the map was loading in, it is vital that eSuba make their shots count. Missed shots in this is going to be game-breaking for them.
It's the same for GoHard though. And so far they've only sent 250Bs crossing as Kaizu at Failware. that are going to be in the 50B. Skyrim's actually playing the mouse, Coca collapse on the tier 9 Waffenträger. These 50Bs need to be very, very careful that they don't overextend, because we've actually seen GoHard overextend against this tactic from eSuba in round robin 1, where the 50Bs got too eager and got wrecked, but I don't think they'll make the same mistake twice in the same season. It's unlikely. Froley was just getting an early spot. He'll now go back towards the hill with the rest of his friends, who've just reached the top.
Just reached the top. Hyper aggressive spotting we saw there from Froley, Zafarczyk, as Froley just backs off. Now you can see Andrew pushing along, Pratalicek making him go a little bit faster. Failware, and who's right with him is Kaizu, I guess, right on top of him, just waiting at that corner.
Yeah, they're just trying to do damage on the crossing. They won't be able to do anything against the E3 though. If Pratalicek is the first one to come down off the hill, and he goes towards B0, you can see the rubble pile there. It's on the end of the street, at the end of the stairs, at the top part. E3 can sit fully hull down behind that. It's very hard to counter. The Waffenträger can get some nice sniping shots on towards him. Might be able to pen because of that very accurate high pen gun. But he will be able to push the 50Bs back at the very, very least.
And Coca-Cola is taking up position just for that Daki in the background there with the Waffle 4. And this is what we used to see in the olden days. Now we'd see an FV 4005 sit over the top of the E3 with his gun because the FV is so tall. Coca-Cola, is he going to take a shot? Oh, he's looking
just
at
going to wait for the crossing. He's just going to wait for the crossing because Failware and Kaiser are still spotting the end of it. Like the very, very end of it. And if he's quick on the trigger finger, he can get it.
Okay, so let's see. Kaizu and Failware here just aiming up towards this hill area. Now the viewpoint from Pratalicek looking down. Will he take a snapshot? Will he take a guesstimate?
No, he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait to be to the when he gets fired upon because of the indicators that were introduced. I think was it last patch. The indicators were introduced. Ooh, Kaiser needs to be careful though.
I was thinking this is bold.
It's bold, but it's still hull down further as well. You remember the indicators that were added last
Yeah,
patch?
lets you know if someone's there, so you can blind fire back in that area.
But you can also you have the reticle, and then you have the black stripe on on the top. You can actually pinpoint exactly where they're shooting you from.
Failware backing off. Kaizu still hanging around this area. Dicing with death a little bit here. Pratalicek won't go over though, because he knows if he goes over and turns, then there's a potential shot from someone like Coca-Cola waiting to shoot him. Now the rest of eSuba have moved along. You can see a red tracer going past there, which looks like that was Coca-Cola, and a blue tracer going back the way. So trade of shots there between two tanks.
Still pretty good here for eSuba. They still have a lot of time. Skyrim in the mouse. They want him to fire, so the FETG of Overus can peek out. Overus is going to try and get a connection with HE on towards Skyrim. There we go, 660 and ammo rack damage, annoying. They're just going to HE him. All they want to do is HE him low enough so that he can't peek that corner. And GoHard doesn't seem fully prepared for this tactic to come out. They're not ready to counter it just yet. All they have right now is 250Bs and a tier 9 Batchat, which is Zafarczyk and D9. That could possibly shoot anybody crossing through the 8-9 line gap. They'll get 3-4 shots. I'm wondering, finally Coca-Cola is joining there as well. That could mean one dead tank.
So Coca-Cola moving around. You can see him on the mini-map here going to D7, D8 area. We're looking at the viewpoint here now of Overus from his view, going into the sniper mode. Now Froley gets ammo racked up on the hill. There is an IS-7 and Batchat below him aiming up at him. We'll see that in the minimap in a minute. So
Annihilator hit him, I think.
Froley took damage there.
510, almost certainly Annihilator.
We're on the viewpoint of Froley right now, so we can only see what his team sees on the minimap.
Skyrim needs to stop peeking. FETDs, I mean, your mouse, but you'll still take a lot of damage.
Another damage there. Looking, took a little bit of damage
It's
there.
just checking where the 50Bs are. He gets the information. He wants to make them fire so his 3090 can cross, because they want Tomasek to get on the gap, and he's going to make his move now.
Tomasek's going to go full speed, coming up past him. Meow, there he goes, nice and safe. Now, whenever Scarium peeks out to... Oh! Scarium taking two in the face there.
Not worth it.
He hit Tomasek, and now Scarium's on a one-shot.
That was not worth it. Yeah, Tomasek will survive, and now I think GoHard is in trouble. They are getting on the hill, but it's not something they can go for because there's 4? I can't count. 3 TDs that could turn and instantly shoot up, and eSuba is in a very good position now, and I think Froley is actually going to push past.
Now we can actually go and listen into the team speak of eSuba and see just how they're going to get this plan done as they get the kill on the mouse.
Já se jdu na hill, já prostě jdu kryt tu ulici.
No bacha tady na to ale. Můžou přijet bati.
Jako bacha, Andrew, oni tam můžou přijet
A koukejte mi furt sem, jo? Já koukám
Já
tu
tam vidím,
ulici. Nevidím tohle. To vidíte vy.
Já to vidím možná.
Luky, ne, tam furt koukej na to. Oni pojedou za chvíli, se vším. Ze zhora,
Je
bacha.
7.
Bečko, pojedu.
Já musím koukat dolů jako.
Koukejte dolů. Wafle?
Je 7 je
Nice.
Ne.
Bečka.
Já jsem tady zasek, ty vole.
Luky, nejdím tam pomoct.
Jdu, no.
No, já jsem v piči, guys.
Jo.
To snad
Tak si
jak?
řešte tohle.
Já jsem v prdeli.
Prostě jo. Co si děláš prdel?
To prostě jsem najel na...
Kámo, what the fuck.
Kámo. Vážně? Vážně?
Daki, what do we see here? Do we see another whoopsie perhaps from Pratelicek?
Pratelicek's on his side. Well, last time he didn't run, now he can't go anywhere.
They're not attacking him, they're just leaving him there.
I'd leave him there as well. I'd go flip him over. Come on, boys.
GoHard, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with this
I
one?
want them to put him on his roof. Niall's farming damage, but I want them to put him on his roof.
GoHard are going to troll him here. This is unfortunate from Pratelicek.
I think Niall's loading HE. He's going to pen that. Watch the damage.
Getting himself flipped. Maga's ramming into him. Zafarchek. I mean, they're just trading shots right here at the moment. What they're debating right now, GoHard, what they're going to do with the team damage into the back of Annihilator. That's probably somebody saying, "Don't, Niall. We're trying to do something here."
They're making a fire line.
GoHard are on defense. They're just going to sit and wait. They're just going to run down the clock.
It's a little bit BM, but you know, in this situation, I do the same.
GoHard. And we have our 4th highlight of the weekend, Daki, I think. They're just going to do a gun salute.
I think they're all going to shoot him at the same time at one point.
Oh, Pratelicek.
Poor guy. When is the time going to be? It's going to be soon, I think. There we go.
Oh! GoHard with the 5 gun salutes.
Well,
Rip Pratelicek.
if Pratelicek was alive, that round could have been possibly different. GoHard with the split from the hill and the AB line working out, actually.
You called it as well. You said, watch this. Coca-Cola is going to go around that corner. He's going to disappear. And then it was just like, boom, gone.
Yeah, but Pratelicek being flipped, that's disastrous because he's somebody that can hold the 0 line almost by himself because the E3 can go back towards the hill. He can drive back up there and pretty much hold it almost. Like if he drives back up and they come over, they just die, but
Not on his side, he can't do it.
No. Could see, yeah.
That was good. We obviously were listening to the team speak with you guys and you don't hear us. And the minute the camera panned over, Daki was gone. Once again, Daki, it's like you and Pratelicek whenever you're casting them.
It's like Gunrunners asked me not to cast their matches anymore because the 2 times I didn't cast their match, they actually won. So.
Me and Mojo cast Gunrunners and Gunrunners win. You cast when Pratelicek's playing and Pratelicek makes
Niall!
Finally!
He's not on your team, right?
Not this time, no.
Let's go!
But this is the first time he's beat Failware. Failware comes in 3rd.
Yeah,
there,
but
so.
Failware was always like only 300 above. Niall made up.
Wow. Every dog has their day, Daki.
Failware did get some reset points, though.
But it was good. Good round there from GoHard. They were able to recover from what looked like an almost potentially a surefire cap there because they were going to take a lot of damage coming around there. Pratelicek actually only got a partial bit 354 for what?
HE?
Like it must have been HE into the mouse or something. Unexpected. Yeah.
Not enough from Pratelicek. Yeah, Froley there joined on the cap.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like pointing a finger at an individual player and saying his fault, but, I mean, it could have been different. We never know. but
not-
that was an individual whoopsie. A bit like
It's not like
Vetso.
it's not like he could dodge that one.
Indeed, it was like Vetso yesterday. Like he died at the same time as Unji got the kill, and perhaps if Vetso had survived and could have hid, maybe.
No way.
Maybe.
No way.
But coming off the hill and dying like that last night was not good. Not good. It's an individual misplay there. Pure and simple. But that's them. This is now GoHard now 3-0 in the lead and firmly in control of this match, I would say.
Yeah, good to see Suba looking a little bit down at this point, almost sideways.
A little bit sideways, yeah. I mean, almost you could say that eSuba are going a bit on tilt.
Yeah, very tilted actually.
Yep. Now they're going to swap sides. Let's have a look at the lineups where we're going to see GoHard on the defense and eSuba on the
By the way,
attack.
Suba did call it. I mean, in the interview with you, they said once it's 2-0, they kind of turn off their brain.
Yeah,
and
they tilt.
yeah, it's very literal.
GoHard Daki going here with E100, FV 4005 stage 2.
Solid lineup all around. E100 can take a beating. Kranwagen for eSuba. 113 is the 1-2-line defense most likely, but they can go east if they want to. That's obviously a personal preference. I mean, you can predict as much as you want. If they decide to go east, they will go east. And there's that. And yeah, the 113 is Kranwagen. That's what looks like 1-2-line defense, and GoHard looks like they want to get through the 8-line. Perhaps the 100 coming over the hill. Such and such and such. That is what it looks like.
Such and such and such. I'm going to have to ask you to explain that in just a second, Daki. Let's jump right into the battle. GoHard red team attacking against eSuba defending. What do you mean by such and such and such, Daki?
Go through the A-line and 8-line and get on the cap.
Okay. And such and such and such.
It's an expression, Ryan.
Okay. Mojo was surprised yesterday by Bob's your uncle. He's never heard that one before. Are you
Neither have
going
I.
to tell me you've never heard it before?
Nope.
Wow. It just basically means there you go. But you could say Robert's your brother's mother, and that confuses people. But
Well, they're actually going K-line with this. It's going to be interesting to see if it works out, because the entire team of eSuba will be waiting for them. And let's see. Let's see if it works.
big potential fight coming up here in the 1-2 line. Shot's going to cross into Andrew and missing from Failware.
Failware should have connected at least 1 or 2 shots there, and he didn't. That's not that great. He should have gotten 800 damage there, Ryan.
Potentially, yes, Daki, but well, Niall hasn't shot yet. It's a Farchik taking a little bit of damage there in the AMX 1390 as someone connects a shot into him there. And, I mean, everyone's poised for a big fight here, potentially. Maga getting a shot now into Overus as well, so GoHard's taking a little bit of damage, eSuba's taking a little bit of damage.
Well, they're going to send the 100 first, and then let's see how it works out, because he's going to shield the I-7 and the 113 trying to cross.
Scarium leading the charge here with Annihilator and Kaizu right behind him. Andrew getting shots into him. Scarium taking a lot of damage. So is Annihilator now as well. But you can see a push coming around from the other tanks of GoHard as well. Coca-Colab's taking a lot of damage in the FV. And right now, Froley is the main focus for eSuba. He's down now almost onto a one-shot as Lucan takes some damage as well. But right now, most of the damage went into GoHard and they are 2k HP down against eSuba at the moment.
The thing is, though, that GoHard's taking 1-2 line control. Overus just went down. Andrew is going to be soon to follow. Annihilator's actually hold down. And Andrew can't do much because he doesn't have reload. Don't even know if he'll be able to pen onto Annihilator here because he's completely hold down behind that part. Well, almost.
Caster curse as Annihilator goes down, Daki, but don't worry, Failware's still in the game and he can do damage. Andrew now clipping into Kaizu. Andrew on a reload. Kaizu might get him here, or can Prattley? No, Prattley checks on the reload as well, so Tomasek is fighting against Safarchik, and let's actually go into the TeamSpeak of GoHard and see what's going through their mind at the moment.
Good. We need to kill 1 and 3.
I have 3.
Still on reload.
Run.
Коко, у меня
You
3,
say,
если
like,
что,
50 going from
не
left.
мешай.
12 seconds.
Я могу в тушку.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot Kaiser.
Thanks, Gar, for saying it in time.
Yeah, well, -2 50B. -3 50B.
Okay, maybe you shoot 115 and I aim 50B. I'm full shot.
Stay.
Ah, shit, reload, HD.
Пиздец, мага, блядь.
Тихо, Маг, ты сказал, что сможешь 1-3 забрать, нет?
Okay, I meant
Надо убивать.
50B is in the open.
I can see.
Бэшка.
I reloading.
Light from back. 1 shot light, guys.
I see. Fail.
Мага,
I
к
aim.
концу.
Reloading.
Тут нас.
Не, ну, next battle.
No, I need to aim light time.
Блять, как у них бэха фуловый ты проехал? Вы что, конченые, что ли?
Мага, блядь, сейчас закрыл, я вот эту бэшку 800 хп Эндрю убил бы.
Да забей, типа, вот тут еще нужно ПДБшку хранить, когда она ехала. Go next.
And Maga, now the only one surviving here for GoHard.
I don't think Philware actually got to do much, Ryan, as Maga goes down, and it was going to be hard to break 1-2 line. It didn't really regard Kaizu, my friend. There's this thing in the bottom right. Sun Kaizu. There's this thing in the bottom right corner. It's called a minimap. When the tank gets spotted, it appears on the minimap. So yes, Skyrim should have told him there's a 50B behind you, but he should also be paying attention to his minimap. Like, oh, I'm being flagged.
That's in reference to the TeamSpeak, where at the very start there was the very cheeky comment of, "Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for telling me."
Thanks for telling me, Scar. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we
you could see the plan there. The E100 was supposed to take the damage. Instead, Niall took 1,995 on the crossing. What a surprise. What a curse. Guess what's my birth year, yeah, Ryan? It's just like the gods are against me.
Wow.
They're against me. Literally against me. They're like, here, watch this.
Just like, is that right, Daki? Oh, it's okay. Annihilator's hold down. He's going to be really safe. Dead.
Yeah. If the Skyrim took more of the damage and he only takes like 1,000 for the crossing and he gets behind that thing, I don't know what to call it. It's like.
Well, don't worry, Daki. As long as the Annihilator's not last, it's not all that bad for you. Failware though, 3rd damage and the top damage dealer there for GoHard. Kaizu, you're saying there, had a good game. I mean, he did get 2 kills. Andrew though, picking up 5 kills. Amex 50B, 3.5 damage. Lucan in the 113, 4.1 with 9 shots. That was actually a beast of a game for him.
He had a very good game there, actually. Lucan in the 113. That's pretty impressive amount of damage for that 113. Annihilator not having the greatest game of his life. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not looking at you like in any way whatsoever, Daki. I have a big smile on my face. I'm happy. And you should be happy too, Daki. Happy Daki, remember?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
Well, don't worry, Daki. Don't worry. I can turn around. I mean, it's 3-1 now. eSuba potential coming back into it. Just when we say GoHard look like in control of everything, eSuba come right back into it. We'll now be going on to our next map. We'll be going into Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. I just checked something, by the way. Only Himmelsdorf Fieldware got 100 decap points. That is so frustrating. Frustrating it is.
Should have picked him.
Lucky. Well, I have him, but...
Not in the team that matters.
In the team that matters. The team in position 19.
Well, if you want to be charitable and give away gold, that's cool. Like I said at the start, I mean, I don't mind.
I am charitable.
You know, it's just.
But I like to beat you with 2 teams, not just one.
It's on like. Well, it doesn't matter if you beat me with the other team because I deleted my week 1 team.
I don't care. I'll still be first.
No, but you'll be 1 week ahead, so of course.
It doesn't matter. I just want to beat you with 2 teams.
But you're not currently going to do that. You're not going to beat you.
Season's long, okay?
Charitable Daki, they'll call you. They'll write songs about you, Daki. Daki, who gave us all gold. Daki and Mojo.
Are you forgetting about Mojo? He's like 300 places behind me.
That's true. I was about 200. But let's have a look at the lineups here on Ghost Town. GoHard are going to be defending against eSuba attacking.
Amex 30 prototype, the tier 9, French, medium, good at climbing. It can go on to A1, but it can also be used to play aggressive with the mind game to say, okay, we're going to put the Amex 30 on A1, and then you rush them and you surprise them. That has happened multiple times. And then some beef to back it up with the E100, WZ. WZ can play on A4 or the 113 there, covered by the 50Bs. I mean, this kind of says that they want to climb and play from there on, but eSuba with 3 bad shots. Now, you have to wonder, what is this going to do? Because this is something that possibly could go on the cap to bait. 3 bad shots on the cap would work, but it can also rush the other side.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in that lineup as an attacking lineup. There's not a lot of armor in it, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays. Well, let's find out, because we can go to Ghost Town where GoHard lead eSuba 3-1.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Okay, Daki, here we go. GoHard red team defending into eSuba on the blue team attacking, and GoHard going with quite an aggressive defense here.
Yeah, the Batchas are actually rushing the center. That's interesting. They're going straight on the cap, and Zafar already got the reset, and none of the Batchas is reloaded. So that plan is going to get abandoned rather quickly. But it was only a bait. It was only a distraction. Because look at the north side of the map. It was just a bait. It was a distraction. It was meant to drag tanks into the middle, while the rest of the tanks, 3 of them, WZ, 113, and the Emil 2, will go onto the cap, will put triple cap pressure, and force GoHard into rotation while the Batchas back off.
GoHard's heavies are all the way down the south of the map. Here comes the triple cap starting up north, and right now GoHard will be like, whoa, 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 there's 2 on the cap right now. Where's the third one? No, there is 3 right on the minute. So 30 seconds as GoHard start coming back through the center of the map. Can eSuba find angles on them? Well, we're going to find out in a couple of seconds, because otherwise there's 24 seconds to the cap, and that's it.
Well, it's going to be very hard here for GoHard already, because AMX30 will never get back on time onto that position, and the damage is done. It's all hold down tanks, so they need to pen something.
10 seconds down. What are you going to do here, GoHard? Are you just going to throw caution to the wind and run at it? We're down to 7 seconds. Zafarchik coming around the back, though. He's going to get a reset on one of the tanks, but which one's he going to hit? He's coming in front of them just to distract them, just to block them, stop them being hulled down at the moment. So reset on every single tank at the moment. Everyone's got reset. Zafarchik causing absolute chaos in the middle of them. They're going to have to get distracted. They're going to have to go for Zafarchik. In the meantime, there is tanks falling down here for GoHard. They've lost Kaizu. They've lost Annihilator, so they've lost the 113. They've lost an AMX30. But in return, eSuba have lost 2 tanks as well. They've lost the Emil 2. They've lost the WZ.
And they're down on HP as well. That cap didn't really work out well for them in the end because of mispositioning. I mean, you see that Emil peek backwards and he got hit on the top of the turret. That was just terrible to say that. And Zafar actually managing to pick up a kill there was not good shielding from the team. And Niall here with Andrew. He doesn't know Andrew is reloading, but he'll figure that out soon enough because Andrew is now off of reload.
Coca-Collapse here holding Death Alley on his own, but no one else is near him. There's Annihilator just round the corner with Kaizu in front of him, but they play in that ramp area that can flank the corner, as Maga looks like he might want to go down low and go further down the bottom area. Now it is 4 tanks of GoHard against 5 tanks, of eSuba, but GoHard have the HP advantage, which could be really vital in this fight.
Yeah, but Maga is in a bad position, and Niall here training with Andrew is not the greatest for Niall because Andrew could pick him up at any moment, and Maga is the one in trouble.
Maga at the moment fighting with Pratilicek. Pratilicek getting the kill on Maga. So gun advantage now with eSuba. We see Andrew and Niall continuing to trade. Annihilator got a clip in, Andrew missed. Coca-Collapse is waiting to shoot someone as well. Does Andrew peek? Can he get the shot on Niall? But Scarium's sneaking around the back. Andrew is between a rock and a hard place right now, and someone is going to get a kill in any second.
He should just do the 2 shots of damage onto Andrew. He gets killed by Coca-Collapse because he didn't know he was there. Combat actually goes down in his batch shot as well. Finally, Niall goes down. It's now a 2v2, but there's 2 batch shots still alive, and they could possibly find the angles, and Froly could join the cap if he wants to.
So the cap is currently sitting at the moment. It's 20 seconds. Scarium is being shot at and being distracted. Coca-Collapse is making a move. He has the E100. He has the armor and the HP. But no, Scarium is now down to a 1-shot. If they can take out Scarium, they can play Ring of Roses with Coca-Collapse. Can Coca-Collapse get a kill here?
He won't get back on time. It's all onto Skyrim, and he's going to have to peek track wheel first, and I don't think they'll even get back to the cap.
2 seconds, 1 second. Can you do it? Nope. It is going to be a cap. And eSuba pick up round 1 here on Ghost Town. It is now 3-2.
That was, okay, they won, but it was sloppy. I mean, gotta say like it is, Zafar drove in there for the reset. That was gonna happen in the MX-30. He's expendable. But he actually managed to kill somebody. He managed to kill the WZ, which shouldn't happen because he should be shielded by the 113. They kill Zafar. WZ stays alive a little bit longer. That's 1 extra tank. Then the Emil peaked. He reversed up, exposed the top of his third, go insta-wrecked by 2 sides from the corner, from that angle, and then from the front. Double wreck. That was unnecessary because I don't think he even was reloaded at that point. I'm not sure, but I don't think he was reloaded. But then luckily enough, their bad shots playing it out well. Maga, bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, he
had all the HP. He tried to kill Froly, but instead he got caught in a bad position.
It was like Pratilicek was able to shoot him through buildings and he didn't see him till it was too late and he was sitting.
Well, he was trying to kill Froly. If he kills Froly, it might have been worth it, but he didn't get Froly. Instead, he got killed.
Yep, them's the breaks. So it looks like, I mean, I don't want to say it looks like we're going to 3-2, but I mean, we could go to 3-3, but it could be to 4-2 and then GoHard take match point. So it's still going to be interesting trying to predict this one, how it's going to go.
Where's Philware?
I mean, it's okay. He can be behind Annihilator for once. But let's talk about him right now.
He's had a
113,
great performance in the last round as well.
3k damage,
He had 4.4 on Himmels. 4.1 on Himmels, actually.
9 shots, 2 kills. So he's doing really good in the
But then check
113.
when he's not on his side, seems to be putting out some damage as well.
Yep. When he's not on tilt, he's showing that he can play nice and steady. Frawley there in the back chat, next player. I mean, top 3 players picking up 5 kills between them.
That's the ones that stayed alive for a long time. But yeah, good job there from the boys from eSuba. Zafar actually doing way too much for what he did. He should have been insta dead, but he didn't. Failware also coming in, decent amount of damage. You expect more from a 50B though, but then Kai's Huskarium didn't really have their effect on this run. And Tomasek was the one that got killed by Zafar, which looking realistically should have shielded, because Zafar shouldn't be able to pick up that kill. Really, really shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice play at the start. It was a nice juke to get GoHard like drawn all the way around the map, but then it just kind of fell to pieces when Zafar did what Zafar does and just went full YOLO crazy mode.
Well, it almost won them the round, but it didn't. And Suba's coming back. Apparently after 2-0, their brain doesn't shut off fully just yet. Not just yet.
Despite what we saw in Himmelsdorf, they are not tilting too badly.
No, they're steady.
Starting to level out now,
Yeah, they're slowly but surely they're getting back on their feet and doing a steady performance.
Now, will it continue? Can they carry this into round 2 here on Ghost Town, though? That's going to be the big question. I mean, GoHard, if they win...
GoHard is... you threw me off by saying GoHard. I wanted to say Ghost Town is the map where... no, you just said GoHard, and then I wanted to say Ghost Town because you said GoHard. GoHard was in my head, so I was like, GoHard. No. I mean, Ghost Town is a map where attackers are slightly favored because it's, it's a hard map to defend. It really is. We have seen it a lot. Stats are in favor of the attacker as well, so I think GoHard should pick this one up still.
Well, let's have a look at the lineups going into round 2 now that the teams swap positions. So we're going to see GoHard on the attack against eSuba on the defense. Quite a few E100s here, Daki. 2 for eSuba, 1 for GoHard. Now, something I've nearly got mixed up with is saying GoTown or GhostHard.
GhostHard. I'm hard for GoTard.
Well, okay. Whatever floats your boat. Now... we are going to actually come back to us at the moment. We're not going to jump right into the battle. Now, Daki, Ghost Town's something that, a map that we quite like commentating on. I think it's one of Mojo's favourites as well. Mojo's actually saying as well that he really likes Runeberg. Do you feel city maps are more interesting, or is it more open maps do you prefer?
Depends what team's playing it, because some teams play really good open maps and some teams play really, really bad.
That is a very fair comment. Now, Ghost Town, did you play much of it yourself when you were a pro player? I mean, you still technically are a pro player, Daki, but you don't, do it for a living.
I like that saying. That floats my boat very, very, very much. Ghost Town, actually I hated it. It's annoying.
Didn't like it. I mean, it was
just so that north base to defend it, but back then it was with like ice trees and such, so it was always really hard to make sure you didn't get capped in the north. I wasn't a great fan of it. We didn't do that good in China on it either when we went to WCA. Ilion always remembers. Push the Tigers.
Push the Tigers. Now, is there vehicles that you think in Ghost Town are essential at the moment? I mean, we're seeing a lot of UDEs on defense all the time.
Something
now,
that can possibly climb, even if you're not going to climb. Something that can possibly climb A1. Batshot is always mandatory. But I think it would be interesting to see once the next batch comes out if we see some stuff with like Type 5 or...
Type 5, yeah.
Mouse, T95s. Because if you park a T95 in that gap, it'd be hard as well to deal with.
Now on Ghost Town as well, we see T57s being used, we see AMX 50Bs being used, and we see Kramwagens being used. Now, they look similar, but they generally have different roles, don't they?
Kramwagen's like an IS-7 with an autoloader. We have a video for that. Okay.
And the T57 and the 50B?
Those are just autoloaders.
Just purely defensive. Well, attack. The T57's got the armor over the 50B, for example.
T57 has more DPM, I'd say, than...
So would you prefer that over the 50B?
No, because the 50B is quicker. It's a better tank. T57 is, kind of meh, because of heat shells.
So you wouldn't agree with teams using T57?
Well, I would in 7v7. I wouldn't in randoms.
We're talking 7v7.
No, you have to look at both things.
Well,
In general, 50B is the better tank, but
Okay.
in WGL and city maps, T57 is better because DPM, if you can play it. It's different things.
okay. I was just asking your opinion. I don't have either tank, so, you know. I'm nearly at the T57 heavy. I'm not anywhere near the 50B at the moment.
Enjoy. It's terrible.
Looking forward to it. I mean, the E1 before it, the tier
Terrible.
9, is hard work, to be honest.
It's terrible.
Very, very hard work. Now, it looks like everything is rewind. It looks like everything is ready behind the scenes for us to go. So this is going to be GoHard attacking into eSuba defending, GoHard red side, eSuba blue side. Now, we kind of know that AMX30 is going to sit about A1, A2, A3.
Only if they want it to be so, and it depends if they want to play the mind game or not. So far, he's not going there. So far, they're going super aggressive. So the AMX30 will scout first. He can climb A1 later. It's the mind game. They pretend like they're going to put the AMX30 on A1, but he's not.
Hyper-aggressive defense as well from eSuba to control that number 1 base.
Well, they will control that number 1 base, but GoHard, they're keeping it slow and steady. They're doing something what they've done before, similar. They have Annihilator and who is the second one? Annihilator and Kaizu in 50Bs on that H0 position that can clip anything in the D7, D8 on that corner to reset the cap. So at one point, they'll probably push somebody on the cap, cover with the 50Bs, and then hope that eSuba makes a mistake. Like Ulverus and Lukin, if they drive forwards towards the next corner and turn that turret, one of them is going to die.
He clipped out by the 250Bs. You can see them directly ahead of them. Coca-Collapse now aiming down this road, but no one is near him, as you can see on the mini-map, so he's got nothing to aim at the moment. Looks like eSuba are not quite taking the bait, Daki, but they want to move, as you see Andrew, Pratilicek and Frawley moving around here as well into the other side of Death Alley. And now Frawley's actually saying, wait a minute, I'll go the other way.
Once Tomasek takes that C0 position, he should be able to spot the 50Bs. Suba is very defensive here, just waiting for GoHard to go on the cap, because they have the E8 climb, they know they can't really be flying. Frawley's also watching that combat, that's the red line.
Just drove forward straight into it, yeah. It's like, remember, there's a border combat on the map, you can't go past it. Annihilator is shooting, he sees someone, he wants to hit them on his third
No,
shot
it's
now.
just blind shooting, I think. Yeah, he's just blind shooting, because he can't hit anybody over there.
And now, I mean, this is hyper aggressive from eSuba. What's GoHard's plan here, Daki?
Still, the plan will remain the same. They will put somebody on the cap. They might join in with the second guy or the third guy to bait them out. Zafar will probably drive into the D6 corner to spot out anything. If they're he will proxy. He'll drive into the corner. He'll proxy with RU251. He'll see nobody because there's literally nobody there. Look, there we go. Zafar is in the corner. You can see it on your mini-maps. He proxies out. He doesn't see anybody. He's going to drive back onto the cap. At that point, somebody might join him behind the crane, and eSuba will have to come close and reset. And they're still counting on this 50B from H0 to do a decent amount of damage, because Zafar will spot him. Niall will shoot him. It's a two-punch.
Two-punch combo. An interesting move to see that there's a base 2 tactic. We've very rarely seen this because base 2 is so open, so easy to reset and so hard to cover from the different angles.
It's becoming more and more unlikely that eSuba is going to win this round, because Collapse will hold the corner behind them as well. That's an E100 shot you take to reset. There's a 50B there as well. Then there's a second 50B on the back line. That's Kaizu. Coming back in to reset will be difficult. They kind of have to take the bottom side, which is F7, F8. They're doing the sensible thing here, which is pushing out the 9-0 line to make sure that Niall can sit there. And then they kind of need to take the F7 position if they want to reset without losing pretty much one tank for it.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. We're watching Andrew and Pratilicek move around the Death Alley area, which is completely safe. Overus is going to poke first here, and he gets shot at twice in the face. Track damage, he's not going anywhere at the moment as damage goes back into Scarium and Failware. Scarium is a focus fire at the moment from the tanks of eSuba, but you can see Frawley getting his gun damaged here in his T57 Heavy, and Andrew as well taking damage. Pratelicek is now shooting as well at Coca Collapse. Overus is on reload. Coca Collapse is going to come off reload any second now and rattle that one right into, I guess, Andrew. Nope, he's saving it, and he goes actually after somebody running down the hill. Coca Collapse continuing to push here over us backwards at the moment as Zafarchek is causing absolute chaos in the RU. Now GoHard have lost 2 tanks, they've lost Skyrim, they've lost Annihilator, but eSuba are taking a heck of a lot of damage at the moment.
And they are, but it's not over just yet. Pratelicek is still alive. Lukin takes a lot of damage, but GoHard just remaining 4 tanks. Same for eSuba right now. And GoHard still has that T-rate, but a lot of HP. Frawley needs to get in now, get to clip. They need to take out Coca Collapse out of the game pretty much before he reloads. If they can't, then Maga and etc. will come in. And Tomasek is just pushing in because they know they need to make kills here.
So Frawley not wanting to go forward now. Failware's down to a 1-shot. Can Tomasek get the shot? He's on a reload. Zafar just missing there. Tomasek playing with his life. Coca Collapse shoots across to Lukin and misses. Tomasek is now shooting into him. Frawley is clipped out. He has 1 more shot left. He wants to go for Maga, but he can't because Maga's waiting to shoot him with 2 shots. But Maga goes down. It's Combat that gets the kill. I mean, it's still anyone's game right now at the moment, Daki, but all the HP is on Zafarchik.
Lukin, yes, exactly. He needs to shoot Zafarchik. He does. Coca Collapse. Zafar won't bend that unless he gets behind him. Combat might get Coca Collapse here. No, Collapse shoots. So now Combat needs to kill him. He has 3 shots. Failware still on reload. And the Zafar goes down. He tried to kill Frawley. He doesn't. Collapse needs to die here towards Combat. Combat, you go kill him.
Come on, Combat, get in there, get in there. You need to get this kill done. Coca Collapse and Failware. Coca Collapse is still swinging at the moment. Combat's the 1-shot. Frawley's the 1-shot. Lukin is a 2-shot. Failware might be able to do it for his team, but no, Combat gets the kill on Coca Collapse. It's now down just to Failware. What can he do for his team? Can he get a kill? He has his clip fully loaded, but he has 3 tanks to do it in, and he has 4 shots to do it in. It is possible, but it's highly unlikely because he doesn't have HP to trade at the moment.
Well, he has 4 shots in a dream, and every single one of the tanks combined is a 4 shot, so he can do it. Lukin will be the first opponent. Oof, he only has 3 left.
And Frawley picks up the kill on Failware. It is all square now, 3-3. Tiebreaker potential.
Tiebreaker, that would imply that GoHard have 4 rounds, which so far is looking unlikely with the last 3 rounds looking like this. GoHard, little bit falling to pieces here. Collapse, not penetrating some shots. I mean, yeah, he had a dead gunner, but if he kills Lukin, the game's over. Combat, when he got hit, could really have killed Collapse much earlier, because I didn't like the fact they were all 3 proxy spotted. So if Failware had a better approach, got behind him or somewhere, they would have no idea where he was coming from because he wasn't spotted. Collapse, when he hit Combat should have just gone.
It was a bit of a proper scrappy team fight when it happened.
Maga
it was a proper
Maga couldn't kill Frawley because Frawley was hulled down.
Yeah,
he struggled with the 57, and then he drove up to try and kill him, and by that time Combat was there. So a lot of tiny mistakes for GoHard that cost him. And Zafar in the RU, yeah, it's all nice to have a tier 8, but you see at that point in time when you're a tier 8, where eSuba have 2 tier 9s, and Tomasek just drove in, went to do the damage, and Zafar, what can you realistically do?
Yeah, bounced off the E100 driving past him.
Tried to kill the 57 and died.
Yeah, dims the brakes. So all square 3-3. The advantage was with GoHard, and now it's arguably going into eSuba's favour. But let's have a look at the stats and the damage done in that round. See who came out on top, see who didn't do as much damage as the others. Now, Failware, 3.7k damage, 13 shots and 1 kill.
Yeah,
Very
it was
nicely
the last
done.
one that stayed alive. Let's not talk about it. Nice amount of damage there from Failware. Sometimes lucky, sometimes not. Lukin, again, a solid performance. I think I'm actually going to go with him for like top damage dealer at the end and over Failware even.
Lukin, yes, good shout, that one.
1.2, not enough. Skyrim, 1.1, not enough. Zafar actually outperforming the both of them. It's kind of disappointing.
I mean, in fairness, we have saw it a lot of the time that the last couple of guys come in sub 1,000 damage, so there was a lot of damage done by everyone in that round.
There was a lot of damage done because the remaining HP was
very low. Yeah.
What was it? 800 to 1,000.
1 shot. Everyone's on a 1 shot apart from
Lukin
one guy.
was on 600.
Yeah.
So and the other one was like 200. So I mean, it is what it is. And how we got here is pretty simple. GoHard. Wait, what side is it? GoHard picked up the first 3 rounds. and then eSuba picked up the next 3 rounds. Congratulations, that's how we got here.
Yep. Well done, Daki.
I know, right? It's almost
It's
like...
hard. You laughed at me last week from doing it. It's like when you said,
You just have to think, if I want to point out, just have to, like, you know.
It's like last night or last week when you said, welcome back to Mojo and Daki, or Daki and Mojo, and you
I
called...
have a better one for that now. The second match, I'm like, welcome back. It's still Daki and still Mojo.
Yeah, you
Yay.
did that, but it's still Mojo. Okay.
You didn't get that last time?
No, I was too
Man.
slow.
It's actually pretty good.
To be honest, I was sleeping. But hey, let's have a look at the lineups now, because we're going to be going into Steps. A very open map, one of our most open maps here in the league, and it's Batchat City, Daki.
Batchat City, indeed. And this is a good map for both these teams, but even more for eSuba than for GoHard. I mean, eSuba has 9 games played on it, and they have...
Last time these guys played,
yes, there was
eSuba
Steps.
absolutely handed it
them on
to
Steps.
absolutely handed it to GoHard.
That was my later point. I was still getting there, but okay. But yeah, eSuba currently sitting on 100% victory on the defense and 60% on the attack. So, and GoHard only 50% on the attack and 60% on the defense. So, not looking good for GoHard here.
Well, things are all squared at the moment. It's GoHard 3, eSuba 3. Who's going to take match point? Let's find out. We're going to go to Steps.
Steps, the most open map in the league. The attacking team appears near the rocks at the bottom of the map, and the defending team starts at the top. Bases are located near the railway and on the green. The best way to control them is to use the lowland near the second base. The attacking team usually begins the attack from the rocks and the railway, but sometimes they can attack through the green. Teams often drag vehicles from flank to flank, so both teams usually pick light vehicles with a good camouflage rating, but sometimes use tanks with a strong turret and even SPGs.
Now we see GoHard, the red team, defending against eSuba and the blue team attacking. Daki with eSuba, they've got that artillery. I think it's going to be vital whether EDT lands these shots or not.
Yeah, it's going to be very crucial, but there was no point talking about the lineup. But GoHard here is doing something very interesting. Froly, he's about to go down already. He needs to run right now. He needs to get out. He's dead.
Froly spotted, not quite running away when he should at the moment. Favor's going to come off reload and he's going to start shooting. There's the first shot into Froly. Everyone else is going after him at the moment. Maga's shot as well, missed. Froly needs to try and get himself safe behind some terrain at the moment. Favor's going to carry on, give chase. Now, is anyone else from eSuba able to come back and help their teammate at the moment, or can Froly survive? He's only taken 3 shots, and he's going to get away, Daki, and survive from this.
Yeah, it's just about alive, but he took so much damage, and they're going to continue chasing. I don't know if I like this, because Overus already back. GoHard might overcommit right here.
Failware charging around the corner, trying to get shots into, but no, there's Overus and other tanks of eSuba waiting for this. We saw a fight happen before in another round on Steps in this area. It's an unusual area. The teams don't normally fight here at the moment, and Failware in that exchange has now got a dead gunner.
This is an overcommitment from GoHard. They chased for too long. I think Lukin is training badly though, but still, we remain with the fact that EDT is in the RT and he can make shots on them. Niall's pushing into Overus, and I don't know if I like this because this is way too far.
Niall pushing into Overus, overextension. He's now in a one shot. He goes down. Combat gets the kill. Annihilator. Maga goes down. That is 2 tanks for nothing. That is a massive, massive overextension there from GoHard.
Yes, I mean, the HP is even here, but you know, unless Kaizu can kill the size 7 for free, which he's doing pretty well at right now, they lose Lukin. It's still not over. The HPs are even, but RT is still a factor. And if he... Now, eSuba can slow it down, right? They can slow it down and they can work from RT, and they have gun advantage as well.
Combat getting a shot in the back there as he backs off. Now we can see Failware shooting at Combat as he backs off as well. GoHard are starting to wrestle control back here of this match. The HP's roughly about even, but Failware and Zafarchik are both on 1-shots. In return on eSuba, Overus is on a 1-shot, and eSuba potentially have a little bit more HP to trade, but Scarium and Kaizu have it all for GoHard.
This is great from Andrew. They realized that Failware's on reload and they're about to lose a full HP 113.
Scarium getting shot in the back and getting shot in the front, trying to work out which way is the safest. Andrew taking damage though. Failware being able to sneak up and shoot him in the back as well. Scarium gets off safe at the moment. No matter where a tank moves, there is crossfire coming in, and GoHard are actually setting up the angles better than eSuba. But now GoHard have just lost Scarium, and that was a lot of HP they've just lost. It's back to 3 guns of GoHard versus 4 of eSuba.
Yeah, but they're all one shot from eSuba. Kaizu is the only person here with HP, but RT, EDT really needs the connection here. Philware, yes, but Andrew should have kept committing onto Skyrim, and he didn't. RT is the factor still. If he can make the play, he needs to hit something for eSuba to win this round.
EDT, we said it at the start of the match, his contribution would be vital. He needs to connect a shot right now. It's going to be swinging it back into his team's favour, but where is he? We've not seen anything all battle here. Safarchik now picks up a kill on Andrew. The advantage back in GoHard's favour. They have 3 tanks against what is effectively 2 and 1 Arty of eSuba. EDT, where are you, mate? You need to do something.
Failware almost got that shot there onto Andrew, but Safar got it instead, and now Failware will come in. And I think Froly is going to be his next victim here if he's not careful.
Failware has taken a lot of damage at the start of this battle. He has a dead gunner as well, but he's been a constant thorn in the side of eSuba, and Failware might peek to try and get another shot here.
He
sees
sees
Froly. He has a shot. Dead gunner. He makes the shot. Failware with the kill. And now it's just Pratelicek and EDT left for eSuba. And EDT, mate, that's another battle where you have not had an impact. And had you done something, it would have been completely different for your team.
I don't think he hit anything.
GoHard now in the driver's seat in this match. They're going to go on match point. They're going to go on the attack next round, where eSuba are more the specialists in defense. It's not over yet, but this round, realistically, should have been eSuba's.
Yeah, I think you can say they kind of threw that one. I'm very interested to see what EDT was going to do. I think GoHard, I really thought they overcommitted. They went in too far. You can see Niall there. I don't know if it was still don't know if it was the correct decision to do so, because they took so much damage for it. I mean, Niall went down. Failware almost actually did carry this round. You can say it like it is, but I think Andrew there in his bad shot as well, when he was chasing Skyrim, I mean, somebody counts the shots on Failware. He did at least 3, so Andrew could have just pushed in, went behind Skyrim, killed him, and then Combat would have more ammo as well. It's just a number of mistakes there from eSuba, and I really want to see how much EDT did, because I don't think he did anything almost, and he needed to connect at least one solid shot onto Kaizu, onto anybody even.
There needed to be a big bam, scream EDT, like we were doing yesterday when
it's
Danny
not,
was getting the shots.
He wasn't even that far away, that's the thing. He's pretty close, so he should have been able to hit something.
Well, let's have a look at the damage done there in that round. So you came out on top. It was Combat in the back chat with 3.4k damage there, 10 shots for 2 kills. Kaizu and Failware coming in top for GoHard there, 3.3 respectively, and then 2.7. Great game for both of them. Then Andrew, now I think EDT was maybe about 3rd bottom.
I think he did like nothing almost.
He was doing some damage, but it wasn't enough to actually be a big factor in the battle. I mean, had it not been an artillery and had it been another tank, would that have made a bigger difference?
I don't know if GoHard would have played the same if they didn't have an RT. That's the thing. EDT 897, just not enough. Niall 800. Again, Maga, they were the 2 that committed there and they got slaughtered. Very lucky. Suba made some mistakes there, which costed them tanks. Overus overextended as well after that, and Kaizu got a nice clip into him.
There was lots of individual.
Yeah, there's lots of individual
going
mistakes.
Too far forward and peeking when they shouldn't have, and just not really respecting the crossfires that teams had set up.
And GoHard lucky there that Kaizu and Failware really bailed them out in that one with individual plays, or they would be 4-3 down. But it's not over yet. Suba has to defend now, and GoHard has to break it, which I'm not sure about if they can do it, because eSuba has been a good team on this and might be a tiebreaker after all. It wouldn't actually surprise me if eSuba picks up this round on the defense, because the stats are in their favor as well. They've already made a comeback from 3-0 down to 3-3, so I still have to give it to eSuba.
Yep, well, let's see the lineup that eSuba are going to be bringing with them, and in turn see the lineup from GoHard as well. Now, GoHard, as you're saying, Dak, you're going to be attacking, eSuba defending. Now, last time these teams met, we were talking about it earlier, eSuba absolutely dominated GoHard on the defense.
The question is, again, does Skyrim and the I7 carry binos? Because with binos, you can go to the number 2 base, sit on there and spot the RU. If he doesn't, that kind of implies that they want to go towards the left side and play from that point on. eSuba, again, they can do whatever they want. They can go a B line, but they can also defend on the 8-9 line. As defender, it is a choice, whatever you prefer doing. It's like this lineup works on either side.
So, GoHard sitting match point here, 4-3 up against eSuba. Now we're going to go to round 2 here of steps. It's there for the taking for GoHard. Momentum is in their favour, but stats-wise, it's eSuba who are in favour, so this one is impossible to predict really, and Frawley hasn't made the first climb.
It doesn't really matter because most of the GoHard is going to go set up in a trap on the back lines. They're expecting eSuba to play very aggressive 9-0 like they've done before, but they didn't. And if Frawley makes the climb here on the second try, if he does it quickly on the second try, then they're in a good position. Because, I mean, yes, nice Frawley, nice.
So Farchek has gone hyper-aggressive through the middle road, Daki, with the spot there onto Overus.
Yeah, but if Frawley still makes the climb here, he still has a little bit of time before the GoHard bat shots get in position. Then eSuba is still in a good situation because, you know, right now they're figuring out, okay, there's nobody here. GoHard's going to go aggressive on the east, but if Frawley is all the way up, we've seen it, it's going to be hard because he can reset and spot. And I've checked the bat shots and the i7. None of them have binos of some sort. All of them have shooting equipment, 1 or 2 bat shots with optics, which I don't think will be enough just about to spot the RU. But Frawley, ooh, he spotted.
Frawley is spotted. He's not safe at the moment. Scarium gets a high roll there, 5-1-3. Nice, good bit of damage there onto Frawley. Now, Frawley's able to say to the rest of his team, hey, everyone's over here. You guys need to reposition and kind of come back.
I wonder just how safe Frawley is right now. He's actually decently safe. He can still reset, but it's going to cost him.
Now, when I say high roll at 5-1-3, I mean in respective of Frawley's damage, but he takes another shot as well. He's down to a 1 shot.
The thing is, there was no need for him to commit there. There was no point. He could have just, you know, waited until he had to reset. I don't know what he's trying to achieve now.
He's going to get himself killed, and then that's going to be totally worthless because it's an easy shot for Scarium.
Well, the thing is, eSuba is going for Annihilator right now, so GoHard needs to react to this because they're going to lose Niall for sure. He's dead. He's even reloading at this point.
Niall taking a truck ton of damage at the moment. He is between a rock and a gun. Now, Overus is getting shot. There's a crossfire from Zafarchik in the background being super sneaky at the moment, and Overus is on fire, burning away there. He wants to go in and get the kill on Niall, but Coca-Collapse gets the kill on Andrew at the moment. Tomasek on Scarium, Maga on Pratalicek. It is a head-for-head battle at the moment. eSuba have lost 2 tanks, but look at this. Look at the counter-attack coming back in here for GoHard. They are sweeping in to the tanks of eSuba, and GoHard are like saying, no, we want this. We want the round. We want the map, and we're going to take it right to you.
It's not over just yet. The HP here is very even between the two, even though eSuba doesn't have that many tanks. GoHard needs to run, needs to get out of there. He needs to take some risk in the way he crosses the field because he needs to run very far because GoHard should cut him off through the middle road. They're not right now. It's not over yet. I mean, eSuba can still do it. Yes, they're 2 guns down compared to GoHard, but if Frawley's still alive, GoHard is still running, and I think GoHard might actually just about get away.
Zafarchik chasing him all the way down here as Kaizu and Coca-Collapse are coming in with him at the moment. Combat leading GoHard on a merry chase all the way around the map here. Excuse me, at the moment, Failware with a dead dead driver is sitting in the middle. Kaizu gets a shot over but misses. Zafarchik shot and missed as well. And Combat is now over the rails.
And they're not going to commit on that because Zafar is spotted. He would take damage for it. He's still going to commit, and that's what I'm talking about. Damage taken. They're now going to back off, and they're going to probably play for the cap because it's the only option they have right now.
Combat did take a parting shot there from Coca-Collapse. And Zafarchik took shots as well, but I mean, that was time played into eSuba's favour. GoHard were not able to shoot anyone there. They weren't able to get any map positioning there. The entire time they just spent roughly about a minute to 30 seconds there chasing Combat across the map, and they're still not done. Kaizu, Coca-Collapse and the other teammates are coming over. Combat has 1 more shot to make. Coca-Collapse missing with his shot. He's going to try and ram him. Goes over the top. Combat is going to go down here. He does go down, but in return, Tomasek gets a kill onto Kaizu. Tomasek in this area as well. Are they going to go for him now as well, Daki?
Yeah, he's pretty dead, and there were some misses there. Even more, that's the second miss from Tomasek, and now he's pretty dead.
Now it's just a numbers game at the moment. It is 5 guns of GoHard against 3 of eSuba. Now 2 of eSuba, one of them being Lukin, one of them being Frawley up on the hill with low HP. He's in a 1 shot. Can Failware fight here against Lukin? 1 more shot for Lukin, 1 more shot for Failware. Failware wants that kill, but no! He goes down to Lukin. I mean, this is it, done and dusted. GoHard are going to pick up this map, they're going to pick up the round, and they're going to pick up the win against eSuba. And that means GoHard are now going to be the first team to have a 4-win streak here.
Yeah, you can see eSuba there just about losing out on this one, especially because Froley didn't make the climb and it did cost them dearly. I mean, you could see it. If he makes the climb, I don't think they get in trouble there because he would be up all the way. Now they committed to reset. They lost 3 tanks for it pretty much. Maga will finish off Lukin now. Froley the last man standing, and I don't think he can do this.
Froley on a wing and a Praetor, mate, but I don't think it's going to happen because anyone can trade health with you, and Maga might even just ram you just to finish you off. But no, Maga gets the killing shot, and GoHard win this one 5-3. That was a very strong counter-attack from GoHard down the bottom of the map when they lost Annihilator, and I think that was what swung it in their favour.
Yeah, they're catching out the tanks there. They killed one guy before.